Chichen Itzá receives over 2.5 million visitors a year. My mom and I could not pass up the opportunity to see one of the greatest archaeological sites in the world. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. We are on our way to Chichen Itzá. Right now we're walking to the bus station. It's about a 15-20 minute walk from our Airbnb, and then we're gonna hop on the bus, and that's gonna be around a 2-hour drive. I'm interested to see these different stops because they stop in these little pueblitas and you can see kind of the local culture. We're running kind of close on time. I don't know if we'll be able to grab breakfast before we hop on this bus ride, but let's get this day started. Chichen Itzá is one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Located in the Yucatan Peninsula, Chichen Itzá was once a vibrant city with a diverse population of Mayan people. So this pyramid is particularly interesting because you can see the before side, which is over here, before all the renovations were done. And on this side is the renovated side. Another tip when you're coming to Chichen Itzá is you cannot bring big bags inside. So if you have like a big camera bag, they won't allow it. If you have a stabilizer or a gimbal or a large tripod, they won't allow that either. You're gonna have to pay around 100 pesos for it, which is about $5. And they give you a key to go to the locker, and in exchange for the key, you have to bring your ID. And then once you're done, you come through the exit, you give them the key, and they give you your ID back. If you want to bring a microphone that's attached to your camera, the best way to do this is to detach it from your camera, put it in your pocket as you go through security, and then once you get through security, you can attach it, and then you can start vlogging. What happened?
Yeah, well,
so they offered...
Well, I said I don't have luggage. He said, oh, then we can change for the shoes. And one guy there.
Everybody wants your shoes.
Oh, yeah.
What were they trying to exchange the shoes for?
Well, that I can buy, but
like
I
a
don't
blanket
have,
or what?
I don't, Terry, I didn't go there, but she said, and I said
you didn't
that
entertain,
I don't, no.
You didn't entertain an offer?
No.
You go barefoot?
I have las chanclas.
Las chanclas.
Yeah.
Sí.
Yeah, I arrived in Seattle at 30 degrees in flip-flops and a t-shirt.
There are all these little tiendas across the different paths to the various ruins, and they're all selling these little trinkets that are like jaguar, monkey trinkets, little hand-carved Mayan calendars and such. And it gets kind of repetitive, keep saying no, 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 no. And there's just this eerie sense that it takes away from the history of where we're actually standing. It seems like, you know, since a lot of those are kind of cheap, you know, 20 peso, $1 trinkets, having that next to such a beautiful monument in these Mayan pyramids, it kind of cheapens the Mayan pyramids in a sense. You know, it commercializes it. Kind of reminds me when I went to the Great Wall of China with my friend Braun. I was just so excited to see one of the marvels of the world. From the area that we saw the Great Wall of China, there was this huge commercial highway, and that modern structure paired right next to the ancient structure, it just felt weird. It felt like not as authentic. You can tell that this area has been altered and it's very commercialized now. There seems to be 2 groups of people. Group number 1 is people who use a tour guide and go to the different ruins and have the tour guide explain exactly what they're looking at. Because when you go to the different ruins and the different sites on the plaza, there's very limited signage. If you're into the history of it, I would recommend you to go with a tour. This is my first time going. I'm going a second time in about 2 weeks with my cousin, and we're definitely gonna do a walking tour, because if you're not learning about the history, then you're just kind of falling into the second group, which is people walking around making TikToks and taking selfies, which is nothing wrong with that. No judgment, maybe a little judgment. You have no idea what you're looking at if you don't have a tour guide. I want to know what I'm looking at. Influencers! Coming to Chichen Itzá is very sensory overload. As soon as you come in, there are hundreds of people in huge groups, a lot of cars, a lot of lines, a lot of hecticness, just people coming up to you trying to sell you things and constantly berating you, or not berating you. They're very friendly. They have these jaguar whistles and they're just constantly blowing them. And every single stand has these jaguar whistles, and it's just like no matter where you go on the premise, you hear this constant jaguar artificial noise. Contrasting this with the salt mines that we went to, it's like complete serenity. You feel like you're just completely detached and you're moving at a slower pace and just able to absorb it and embrace it more. Maybe Uxmal or some other different pyramids will be more kind of isolated. Another mistake I made was they charged $2.50, which is about 50 pesos for professional cameras. So because I have a mirrorless camera, I consider that a professional camera, so I went up and I paid the 50 pesos, but then I looked closer at the sign and they only consider professional cameras if it's a camcorder or a GoPro. If you have a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, you're good to go. You don't need to pay the money. It doesn't seem like they're gonna stop you from paying the money. So just keep that in mind, because you can save a little bit of money. Gotta keep it real, that sandwich we had might be the highlight of the trip. For 20 pesos per sandwich, it's unbelievable. I've never had a sandwich like that where it's just so many different flavors in one, but yet it's so simple. You have the spiciness from the jalapeno, you have the crispy, thin, bready goodness of the outer layer of the torta, and then you have the sugary topping for a sweetness paired with this very salty ham and very fresh cheddar cheese. It all melted together, handmade. So that wraps up our trip to Chichen Itzá. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be yourself and you'll make a difference. Peace.